Look, they said that I couldn't do it, so I went and did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, I've been on a mission. Go. Okay, let's get it. Got a little time on my hands like a wristwatch. I don't got time for the breaks and the pit stop. Race through the gridlock, take it like Chris Rock. Right to the chin, still win. Heavy metals like Slipknot. Got the driving, I got tunnel vision. I just hit my stride the way I run the business. I've been making paper like I'm Dunder Mifflin. See the end game, I got one division. Look, I just did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, I've been on a mission. Go. Okay, let's get it.
Round 16 is here, and with only 4 races left in the regular season, the pressure is on to make the chase. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eliza Bethel alongside Matt Sisler for the Brickyard 160 at Indianapolis. Matt, how you doing out there tonight?
Doing well, Eliza. Drivers should be up for a tricky challenge here at Indy's quote-unquote oval. It's a rectangle, but just so we don't get it confused with the road course, I guess we have to call it an oval. Should be an interesting event. Track position, dirty air gonna really play a key factor here with how these Gen 7 cars drive. Should be interesting.
I think so. We have our hands full tonight with these drivers and how this track is handling, so it is going to be busy. But before we get there, you guys know what we got to do. We have driver spotlights, and they are going to be the number 711 David Moransky and the pilot of the number 67 for Nitro Motorsports, Matthew Gale. What's up, gentlemen? How you doing tonight?
Hello.
Everyone's always so shy when I first say that.
Hello is how Gale is doing, ladies and gentlemen.
I think it's just not wanting to talk over each other, like being
Yeah, I'm also
fair enough. All right. Well, the first question, we're going to put you on the spot. If you had a theme song for this track, what would it be? And we're going to start with David.
Oh, God. Highway to Hell. I think it's a good one.
That is a good one. I love that. Okay. Highway to Hell is a good one, especially for what you guys are going to be dealing with tonight, for sure. All right, Matthew Gale, a theme song for tonight at Indy. What you got?
I'm gonna go with the Cha-Cha Slide because the car is loose.
You're not wrong. It is loose, and I would have never thought of that, but I love that also.
To the left, take it back, Daniel.
All right, next question. What is one thing we don't know about you? And we're going to start with Matthew Gale.
Oh, a lot, probably. I don't know, like, I guess there would be the assumption that I'm a road course person, even though, like, my entire league, like, time spent league racing on iRacing is actually just mainly ovals. Even though
Fair
the
enough.
results don't show it.
What is your favorite track to run?
That would be Vegas, actually. It just seems to go well for me for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's a good track. I feel that, so very cool to know for sure. Because I always assume, because I know you were in our F1 league, and I'm like, yeah, he's got to really love road courses too. And for you to say Las Vegas, I'm like, whoa. So yeah, I feel that. All right, David, what's one thing we don't know about you?
I already know I bowl, so that's like maybe
I do, but no one else does maybe, so that's one thing.
Oh, well,
what else? What do I not know?
What do you not know?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. You know a lot about me.
Did you just say something?
I wrote. No. I'm sitting here thinking, and I can't think of anything. I mean, most people don't know that I bowl, and that I have a 300 ring. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's crazy. How long you been bowling too, by the way?
10. No, longer than that. 8 years
Wow.
old. I'm 21 now. 13 years.
Nice. What's the furthest you've gone in bowling? Like, I don't know the details of like where you go in bowling, or like, you know, alleys or something.
I'm not even. This is hilarious. I think the furthest drive I've ever taken bowling is actually to go to a tournament in Indianapolis.
Really? Okay,
I
very
think,
fitting
yeah,
for tonight then.
Yeah, Indianapolis or Grand Rapids over in Michigan.
Nice.
Let's go.
I
Yeah.
like it. All right,
They're nice
next
cities.
question. Are you team socks or no socks when driving? And we're gonna start with David.
I feel passionately about this. Team no socks.
That's crazy.
If you have socks on, it's simple friction. My feet are gonna slide off of the pedals with my socks on. If I have my feet on the pedals, my feet aren't gonna slide off. But if I have my socks on there, they're gonna slide right off the pedals.
Doesn't it feel weird against the metal?
No, it keeps my feet cool. I don't know. I don't know.
All right, well, fair enough. I guess. All right, Matthew, what about you? Are you team socks or no socks when driving?
I'm team socks, but that's because I also have a pair of cheap karting boots that I bought that I use for the pedal.
Fair enough. Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm with you. Team socks, man. No socks are just weird.
The question is, does anyone actually wear shoes when driving?
I've asked this question quite a lot. It came from Tom Flitcroft to begin with, and yeah, there's been a couple that actually wear shoes. I don't even know.
I could never do that.
I'm one.
Yeah, you said that you have a specific kind, so hey,
Yeah,
okay.
that's fair. I could never do that though.
All right, next question. Okay, I'm thinking that last week's drivers were really hungry when they were thinking of questions. So, Craig Myers, his question is a hot dog considered a sandwich? And we're going to start with Matthew Gale.
No, it's a taco because the bread covers 3 sides.
What? Hey, I like it. Let's go.
The worst answer I've ever heard.
All right, David, what about you? Now you got me saying taco. Is a hot dog considered a sandwich?
No, a hot dog is a hot dog. A hot dog is its own separate thing.
I agree. I don't know about a taco, but hey, that's fine too. All right, final question. Dakota Wilkins. He asks, what is your favorite item to get from McDonald's? And we're going to start with David.
Does it have to be an item that's on the menu now?
I don't know. Just choose whatever you like from McDonald's. Maybe back from forever ago. I don't know.
Shamrock shakes.
Oh, okay. I've never had one, but I heard they're good.
Seasonal.
Yeah.
Seasonal, they are pretty good. If you want an item right now, I would say like a McGriddles.
Who?
McGriddles,
Oh, McGriddle.
Like breakfast. Yeah, McGriddle, yeah.
That would be good. I can see that. All right, Mr. Gale, what about you? What is your favorite item to get from McDonald's?
I worked at McDonald's for a while, and and it kind of made me sort of not want to have the burgers. So all I ever get is the nuggets or the spicy nugs if they have them, because those are pretty good.
Spicy
He
nuggets.
saw the background.
Really
Saw the background that he's made.
Fair enough. All right, and I guess I do have one more question. Do you guys have a question for next week's driver? So if anyone does speak up and give it to me, if not, that's okay too.
You can give one. I think can we give one each?
Yeah, absolutely. David, what you got?
You start with yours. Okay.
Mine would be. Oh, yep.
No, go ahead by all means.
Come on, Gale.
Mine would be because of the difference between the two Iowas. Which one do they prefer?
I like it.
Good pick.
It is a good pick. Absolutely. All right, David, what about you?
Okay, I'm going less racing based. It is about racing, but it also isn't at the same time. Okay, say you're trapped on a desert island, right? You have to be stuck with 3 NASCAR drivers.
Oh,
past or present. Who would it be?
I like it. Very good questions, guys. I'm down for it. All right, that's going to be it for us tonight. I appreciate you guys coming to the booth. It's been fun getting to chat with you once again, and I wish you luck going into tonight's race here at Indianapolis.
Appreciate it. I'll give you a reason to look at the back of the field spot.
Oh, hush. You guys will do great. It'll be great. All right, you heard it from these guys. It's going to be a fun night, but man, do they have their hands full. Matt, what do you think we're going to see? I know you and I talked about it.
Yep.
Yeah, before the race happened, but we're in agreement. So what do you say?
Well, literally during work, I literally had to stop work because it came to my mind. I'm like, dirty air, track position, pit
Yeah.
stops. Like, it's going to come down to who qualifies towards the front is going to probably stay there unless they make mistakes on pit road or they make a self-spin or something like that. With
Right.
these cars, we've seen it at other aero-dependent tracks that these cars do not like to follow in the wake of another one. We saw it in real life when they did the real life Brickyard with Christopher Bell getting all the way to Corey Heim and then not being able to do a dang thing with him. These cars do not like to follow at aero-dependent racetracks. Indianapolis is a very, very aero-dependent track. Clean air, you have to have it. If you don't have it, it's going to be a miserable time. So, miserable for them driving. We, along with you at home, get to enjoy it. They probably, the drivers won't, probably.
Yeah, we've heard some grumblings, before in practice, so it should be fun. But you can already see a couple of drivers diving off and getting loose, so I think we're going to see some of those tonight for sure. But qualifying is going to be huge. And speaking of qualifying, we see Joe Turley. He's out there at P1. Fastest so far, a 51.9, and he was in chat saying, I want that slide so I can modulate the throttle better. Cube rule of food is the rule of food. So he was chatting about what we were talking about earlier, and I see Evan Full Sims. He just followed. Thank you so much for the follow. I hope you're doing well. And Sober David, he says, this should be fun. I think so, but man, like I said, qualifying is going to be king here. You have to make sure that you qualify well because passing is going to be so difficult with that dirty air. So these guys, a lot of competition going on in qualifying, and we're going to see some drivers being very aggressive on that start and restarts to try to gain any positions they can.
For sure, and that's why you see, like, a lot of the passes are going to get done in the first 2 to 3 laps because it'll be your only chance. And you'll see guys make aggressive moves because you get side by side, you get slowed down, and if you're running 5th, all that might do is pull you back from the front 4 who are all lined up. You're going to need, like, you guys will get aggressive early in the run to try to get that track position because it could be so huge come the end of a green flag run or end of the race. Because it is so hard to make up ground, even when you have the tire advantage. It is so difficult to make up ground here in these cars. So it's just qualifying and track positions going to be huge.
Absolutely. Joe again says it will be a race of all time. We'll see. We'll see what happens here tonight, but it's Indianapolis. Who's going to get to kiss the bricks tonight? We've had a lot of different winners. And, there's only 4 races left in the regular season before the chase. So the pressure's on for a lot of these guys. We have the top 12 moving on. And there's a couple of guys that are very, very close in points around that. So we're going to have to keep our eye on it. And when qualifying is over and we're in the race, I'll bring up the points and show you guys where everyone is. But here we are in qualifying. We're going to see who is going to be the first to come out. We have Tristan Health, Matthew Gale, Dakota Wilkins, and Dylan Robb, among a few that are currently out here on track trying to get those times.
Yep, and we'll just have to see. And this track does have, like, the same sort of wind situation that you can see at, like, tracks like Daytona or Talladega, just given how like high the wind is and how long you're on the gas on these long straightaways. And it could just be completely random. It's not even going to be that we know, like, oh, you need to go out with about 3 minutes left in the session because on your second lap you'll have the wind at your back. It could just swing wildly, so you could have a good push down one straightaway and then the wind shifts and then you have that complete opposite going down the other one. It could literally be the difference between you qualifying in the top 5 or outside the top 10 with how close these cars can go together. And I'm predicting we're going to see a lot of lap 1 laps from these drivers. And what that is that the faster laps are gonna come on the opening lap, which is unusual, Eliza, because you've been running these cars as long as I have, and it used to be and it still is for the O'Reilly's car and all the other stock cars, isn't it? That it's lap 2. You need to get heat in the tires on your second lap and lower the fuel to get your fastest lap. But in these, it's weird that some tracks will be a lap 1 track. Ironically enough, another flattish track like Indy, Pocono, is another like lap 1 track. Michigan kind of can be, but it makes sense because it's another high-speed track. So we're gonna be on board with Matthew Gale and see what he can do. And hopefully Eliza's commentator curse doesn't bite him.
I'm hoping, because you know it definitely happens. But Matthew Gale went on board with a 52.754. You can see he is actually shifting down. You're going to see quite a few drivers doing that. And you can see went to Tristan Health, who is fastest so far. He's currently in 4th, just switched up to 5th. So I think we're going to see a lot of drivers shifting down. But I did hear from a few that they will be staying in 5th, and I'm curious how that's going to, play out as far as their lap time, because I can assure you I was faster in 4th, but as far as in race, tire wear, is that going to be an issue shifting down to 4th, Matt?
It can be, because you're kicking the revs up higher. You're kicking the revs up higher to go through the corner to get the car to rotate, but that's going to put more revs into the rear tires, and it's going to cause the car to rotate. So definitely, and that's why we'll see guys who may go to a fuel save strategy and try to run 5th gear during the race in these corners, which you can do from personal experience. You can do it. Ooh. But you'll see guys stay in 5th gear, and that will maybe give them a little bit better tire wear than cars around them, if they can stay in the draft of cars around them. Francis with a big hit.
Big hit. Yeah.
Big
Absolutely.
hit to the wall for Francis. And
we see him in 2nd, though.
So, Jimmy.
I know. We had FIWB just back to back, it looked like. So, big hits for them. Luckily, they get a new car before the race, right? So
yeah, they're sharing setups. That's why they're loose and spinning.
Coward says whoever gets the pole wins the race. Come on, 77, and he has been extremely strong so far. Indeed. It's going to be Tristan Health on the pole here. We'll see if that sticks. Austin Mitty currently sitting P12. We'll see what happens in the end of that. And Karma says any track over a mile is typically lap 1 in this car. And it looks like Austin Mitty is going to hold on to P9.
Yep, solid job to get that car up there. Not quite as good as what Hocevar did here in that car. Outside pole, if I'm not mistaken, when they went here a few weeks ago, which was insanely impressive. But Brendan Book pulling off the Kyle Larson at Indy throwback, going P2 on the speed charts.
Yeah, and they're looking good.
And Karma is correct that any track over miles is usually a lap 1. He knows what he's talking about.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you just have so much track to get that speed up that it's not really a concern to try to use that second one to do so. But it looks like qualifying is over. Tristan Health going to be on pole. So, man, great time from him. And I know he was concerned that he may not be able to get that going, but it looks like he might have surprised himself here. And Gale Force says, if anyone can find the 6/10 I've lost since practice, could they leave them at my hauler? We saw him earlier in the booth, but I think he'll get him back in race. Let's give him some good karma over there. So we'll see what happens. But these guys are gridding up, so let's get that started. Tristan Health is going to be on the pole, 52.18 in that 38 car. He's going to have Brendan Book, his teammate, on his outside in that number 5 machine. Row 2 is going to be FIWB Francis Hamilton in that 48 with Evan Adams to his outside. Row 3 is going to be Brody Follicker in the 42 with his teammate for FIWB Jimmy Cocker in the 11 car. Row 4, Joseph Turley in the 30 machine with Michael J. Adams in the 3 car. And in row 5, we're going to have Jose Ruiz in the 23 machine with Thomas Harmon in the 18.
Behind them, Austin, it's a lucky row of 7s on row 6. Austin Mitty and Luke Allen, 11th and 12th. Jordan McGraw and David Moransky behind them in row number 7. Matthew Gale and Dakota Wilkins make up row 8. Andrew Sanford and Craig Meyer are row 9. And our final car to take time tonight, Philip Bridgman, 19th with Hunter Johnson, set to start to his outside.
21st, we're going to have John Velocity in the 87 with Matt Burgess in the 56. Brian Pizzakimi going to be P23 with Dylan C. Robb in 24th. And guys, that is going to be your field tonight. 64 laps we're going to have here tonight. So we got a lot of racing, but this race can go pretty quick, especially if we go green. So it's going to be fun, but it's going to be a challenge for sure. Polish says if you can't deliver them to the 67 hauler, the 711 hauler will gladly take them. And he's talking about Gale Force, asking where his time went. All right.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Poured. Yeah, just ignore the bag of sand that's under my chair right now. Definitely don't check Gale's gas tank. Harmless little prank. Definitely didn't do anything to Gale's car. What sand?
What sands, right? Chronic, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it. Gifted it to Karma. Let's go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. I hope you're doing great out there. These guys lined up 2 wide, getting ready to roll here at Indianapolis. Just such close racing. I can't wait to go over the points here as we're getting ready to go green, and to let you guys know, the final 4 races is just going to be so tight for the regular season, regular season finale, I should say.
For sure. It's going to be it's been a tight points fight at the cut line all season long from the drop of the green back at Daytona. We have gotten one bad race, one really good race for drivers can really shake up the points. So anything can happen. We'll see if it does today. So
true. And you can see these guys coming around the corner, getting ready to go green as Tristan Health, Brennan Book on that front row. We'll see how they do, but I think we're going to see a lot of drivers getting loose as we're getting ready to go green. These guys on top of each other. I can't wait to see what happens here. And Coward, I do not have a camera. One of these days, though. One of these days. Here they go. We are off and green. These guys already on the run. Man, oh man. It is so incredibly tight. You can see the 77 trying to go under. Unable to do so, but they are 3 wide back there.
Brendan, and around goes Brendan Book. Carrying on the Kyle Larson tradition in Indianapolis. I'm sorry, it was
not
oh my
pretty.
gosh, that's huge behind them.
Absolutely massive.
Joke. And they all wreck. I was so busy watching the 5-car spin.
You can see them there getting
Austin
loose.
Mitty into Harmon, and oh my goodness, huge.
Man, if you just follow it, Brendan threw that. It looks like not a lot were involved, but I can assure you there was a lot involved on that one.
Oh, a lot of cars got damaged. The 77 taking evasive action. I think that's what it actually caused the second part of it, Eliza. He had to cut to the apron to avoid the spinning 5, and he tried to come back up. I don't know if he got clipped, maybe net code clipped or what, but that car just cut dead right, and it snapped back into the field. And with these 90-degree corners, there's just nowhere to go. Thomas Harmon right in it. Jose Ruiz, Evan Adams, the 7... Gale even getting a little bit, but it looks like he's okay. David Moransky gets through, though, so Eliza hasn't managed to curse both of our people yet.
Man, there is, that involved quite a bit in it. I know that when we've had some cautions this season, it has usually been on lap 1 and green the remainder of the time, so let's hope that is the case, but it is extremely loose on this track, and I can assure you, it goes from oddly tight to straight deathly loose very, very quickly and without warning. So that's just something that these drivers are gonna have to contend with tonight.
Yeah, it is. And cold tire, and it's just cold tires. Guys gotta be careful, and, you know, Brendan says he wasn't even on the gas in the in-race chat, so that's the problem. And that's the thing with this car as well, because you've had it happen too, Eliza, where like the natural thing with all the other stock cars is when it slides like that, you can let off the gas and save it.
Right.
Like, you can let off the gas, counter steer, and you will probably be able to save it. The problem with this car is it's got so much grip that when you lose it, and then and then all of a sudden when it grips back up, you're just spinning right back into traffic. And Brendan did a good job to keep it down out of the way of everybody for the most part. But Austin Mitty just trying to take evasive action. That's the other thing. I know I've said it before. These cars on ovals do not, and I really mean this, do not like to try to turn back to the right at all. These things, you try to turn to the right after evasive action in an O'Reilly's car, in a truck, in a 1987, in the Gen 6, you can make that move and you're fairly confident you're not going to have a problem. In these things, you kind of have to be aware of how hard you're going to throw that car to the right, because if you throw it back to the right and it's too hard, that car is going to snap back. And we saw it with the 77.
Yeah, unfortunately. In the 77, Coward says, 9 minutes on the 77, not what you want to hear out here. And Polish Hammer, one of our spotlights, he says, I assure you, Matt, Eliza did curse both spotlights. My wheel isn't straight. So, unfortunately, both drivers do have some damage. Both.
Wasn't my fault.
Matthew Gale, he is out on track, but David Moransky, he's still getting that repair done, so we'll see. But man, that is a lot of drivers on pit lane. I hate to see that. Hopefully, it'll go green the rest of the way, but I'm telling you guys, it is so loose out here, and it just snaps on you. I'm just not going to be surprised if we see a couple of cautions like that tonight, and hopefully it's not going to be as big as what we just saw.
For sure, and it's only going to be on a start or a restart where we're going to see a big one like that. We're really never going to see huge ones like that happen at Indy once we get like 5, 10, 15 laps into a run. And I mean, Gale's car looks fairly clean, Eliza. Apparently he had minimal damage, so not too bad. He's back out there. And the big positive with Indianapolis is it's, 2.5 miles. We forget it's the same length as Pocono or as Daytona, so you're trundling around here under pace speed. It takes 2.5 minutes, I think, something like that, about 2 minutes to get around. So you're going to be able to take that much damage repair. So if a driver involved in an incident has about like a minute 40 of damage, you can get that fixed and come right back out and be fine. Even 2 minutes, you can come back out and be fine. But like where you have like all that damage, you're kind of hoping for more cautions. We don't, but any driver who might have any residual damage is probably hoping for one more yellow, because they'll be able to get it repaired and come back out and be fairly competitive again, although being at the tail of the field is going to be very hard, as we said in pre-race.
Yeah, for sure. And 9 minutes, it's a lot of damage. And, I'm not sure that your car is going to be fully repaired to what it was. It just really depends on what was going on with it. So Austin Mitty not in a good place currently, but it looks like two drivers still on pit lane, Jose Ruiz and Austin Mitty. We'll see here, but yeah, we're getting ready to go back to green though. Hopefully it stays green this time.
Absolutely. And that's all it takes as well. It just shows how fickle these Gen 7s are, Eliza. It took one guy making a mistake, because if Brendan doesn't make that mistake, Mitty has no reason to dive out of the way, and then he's not spinning back into traffic. So fingers crossed we don't have a problem on this one.
We're about to find out. It's going to be on Tristan's go, as he is the leader back to green. He can go anywhere in the box, and you can see him get a nice lead out, which is exactly what you want to see here. Control both lanes, go where you need to go. Everyone behind him 2 or 3 wide, trying to hold on to it and make sure they're not too loose.
Nope, and everybody that time looks like they get through the short chute between 1 and 2 clean. Turn 2, the exit on these cold tires is going to also be the scary point for the first few laps. everybody away again down the long run on the back straight. Snaking a little bit as they head for 3.
Yeah, trying to get each other out of that draft so they can't catch up. And I'll tell you what, that dirty air is just going to be a huge issue. You can get that draft, catch up, but there's like a bubble. There's that dirty air that's going to keep you from being able to make a pass easily. So they really have to work at it and make sure they kind of decide when and where is going to be the best chance for them to make that pass.
Absolutely. And you just saw... like that, like I mentioned during the caution lines, the car's not liking to snap back to the right. Tristan Helf had that down the front straightaway because he was running down to the wall and moved hard right to get back up to the outside. And I saw that car go a little bit more than I know he'd want. Got to be careful with it as he weaves down the back straightaway again, trying to break the draft to Evan Adams.
Yeah, these guys trying to weave around, but we called it. I mean, before the race, we were saying this is probably going to be a lot of single file traffic. There's just not much that you can do. Just try to hold on to your tires and see if anyone else that they kind of destroy their tires more than you, and you can make up some time. But even with that, a lot of drivers are saying that there's not a lot of time difference on here. Some others, they disagree.
Well, and the other thing is as well, when you get side by side, that's where you really start to lose time. Because right now, everybody's single file, so like, hypothetically, you're looking at Jordan McGraw running in P6, a few car lengths behind the 30 of Joe Turley. He wants to get up there, and the last thing he would want is Andrew Sanford to get up alongside him, because then all that does is slow them down. It costs the 34 the draft to the cars in front, but not only that, it would stack them all up. John Velocity, who's close, would be there. Last week's winner, Francis Hamilton, going by. Philip Bridgman would be there, as would Hunter Johnson and Matthew Gale. You don't want to get side by side at all if you can help it, because these cars just have so much side drafting that you lose so much time if you get side by side. So you got to make the pass quick if you're going to do it.
Absolutely. You can see, I just love watching that line, how they will go down the track and try to snake that line to make sure that they can't get that draft. It's just reminds me of F1 there, just how they, and Indy cars, I should say, how they are trying to vary that line, trying to get him out of there. But Tristan having a solid run. Evan J. Adams, he's going to be in second. Jimmy Cocker, our points leader, he's sitting confidently in third, up 3 spots. Brody Folliker in fourth. And Joseph Turley, he's going to round out your top 5.
And like I mentioned, Jordan McGraw, a very solid run in the white Texas Tech scheme tonight, running in P6. Andrew Sanford 7th. John Velocity runs 8th. Francis Hamilton, last week's winner, running P9 right now, solid for him. And Hunter Johnson back in the car this week, running P10. I think he was out of the car last week. I probably should have asked that before saying it, but oops.
Yeah, Hunter Johnson, we haven't seen him except once or twice this season, so good to see him in there. Matthew Gale is going to be 11th. Matt Burgess 12th. Luke Allen is 13th. Dakota Wilkins 14th. And Craig Meyer going to be 15th out there.
Yep, Brian Pizzicemi repaired a little bit of damage from that lap 1, turn 1 incident. He's running 16th now, up a little bit. Philip Bridgman had a moment off of 2 a few laps ago. He's running in the 17th position after gathering the Tim Hortons machine back in. Dylan Raub currently holds on P18. David Moransky, the second of our 2 spotlight drivers, runs in the 19th position. Michael Adams, it was Michael, not Evan, involved in that early accident. He currently runs P20, about a second and a half probably, or a little bit further off that draft. 22nd is or where are we? 21st, excuse me. 21st. Thomas Harmon, unfortunately, he's still out there. He's running a lap down, but well off the pace. He's in turn 4 as our leaders are on the back straightaway right now. That car badly hurt. 22nd, Austin Mitty out there, and Jose Ruiz is 23rd with, I believe, Brendan Book, our one car currently out after his lap 1 spin. He'll be P24.
All right, it looks like these guys are green and keeping things underneath them. So I want to go ahead and bring up the points if we can. So let's take a look at the chase points. Point standings following last week's race at Echo Park Speedway. Jimmy Cocker He's 224 points above that cut line. So he's having a solid season. I mean, he's just said everywhere he's gone, he's just felt really good. So great season for him. Thomas Harmon going to be in second. Francis Hamilton moves up a spot after last week's win. He moves up to third. Tristan Helf goes down a spot. And the guys around the bubble is going to be Brian Pizzakimi. He's good to 10 points. Evan J. Adams, he's -10. Luke Allen, -11. Joe Berg, man, what do you think we're going to need for these 15th and 16th, Joe Berg and Philip Bridgman, to try to make it inside that cut?
Philip Bridgman's got to find some. He may need a little bit of help because Brian Pizzakemi is not somebody. Brian is a very, very steady driver. He's not like starting at the back in these cars is a lot harder to fight his way through the field, but you will still see Brian flying right about where he needs to be. So Philip's got to have a few races where Brian hits trouble or guys around it, like a bunch of guys around him hit trouble and he can finish in front of them, because with 4 races to go to the chase, 32 points, it's 8 points per race, which is fine, but you got to remember it's not like one position or two like on the lap system. It's like that's 8 positions on track, and it would be a bit of a challenge for him to finish ahead of some of these guys just because of how the talent level in here is. So not impossible, but he may need some help.
I agree. And I'm on the back of Tristan Helf, his car here, and you can see the top 5 or so drivers are in this pack, but even they are getting separated. Then we're going to have Andrew Sanford. He's going to be in about P6. He's going to lead that next pack, and man, he's got a couple between them, and then 12th is going to be the third group. So these guys really starting to spread out, Matt. And it's lap 13 of 64, so it's happening a little sooner than I thought it would.
A little bit, but also I think that, again, you're seeing the dirty air and guys being better at adjusting and adapting to it, and could also be that some guys are banking on the long run and hoping that their pace comes to them later in the race. So we'll just have to see what the situation is. It'll be interesting to see if Thomas Harmon affects Tristan as he's coming up the lap, and I think Harmon, good man for Thomas, realizing not even going to keep it on there. He takes to the access road and just lets the leaders go. Smart move. That car way off the pace. It would have been a bit tricky had Tristan caught him going into turn 2.
Hard charger for the race so far is going to be Hunter Johnson, up 13 spots from where he started. He sits P7. Andrew Sanford in front of him, up 11 spots. And John Velocity, he sits P9. He is up 12 spots. So, man, a couple of drivers really gaining some positions. We technically, for the ones that are in the top 20, there's only about 3 to 4 drivers that have lost any spots.
Yeah, and a lot of them that lost spots were guys involved in that lap 1 accident. We've seen like some guys be able to make up positions, like Philip Bridgman's little moment off of turn 2 cost him a couple, so that's why he's further down around 19th position, which isn't going to help his chase hopes with Brian in front of him. But we have a long race, so over 3/4 distance to run.
You said it there. And I want to go back up to our top 3. Still Tristan Helf. He's just in front of Evan Adams by almost a second here. And then Jimmy Cocker is going to be almost a second and a half back, sitting P3. His teammate, FIWB, Brody Folliker, who has got a championship in SnB in the Xfinity Series. He is up 1 spot as he sits P4, but you can see that line all the way through is looking like a snake here on the front stretch as they're heading into the corner.
Yep, still trying to break that draft is Tristan Helf in that 38 machine. He has a couple wins this season, but he could have had a couple more, and I know he would want to get one at one of NASCAR's crown jewel racetracks here at the Brickyard. So he started from the pole, got out front, and he's doing a great job controlling the pack so far.
Let's go on board with Andrew Sanford, see what he's up to in the cockpit view. We'll see if he is downshifting. You can see it right there. I'm kind of curious, are there any drivers that are not downshifting at this point? I just feel like you have to have it. It does make you a little bit looser, as you can see Andrew having to hold on to it coming off that turn 4 exit there. But back into 5th, and he's going to take it back down into 4th, heading into 1.
And I'm checking at the front, all 5 of the front drivers downshifting into 4th. Sanford the same, Hunter the same. Looks like a lot of guys are just decided that they gotta. Although Jordan McGraw running in 5th, first car to be doing it's back in P11 behind Matthew Gale. So the first 10 cars are all kicking it to 4th gear on entry to these corners. Jordan McGraw leaving it in 5th, and that will help with fuel economy as well. I don't know how large the fuel tanks are, but any little bit you can save on fuel, even if you have to pit with the other cars around you, it means your stop will be that much quicker because it'll be less fuel to take on board to fill the tank up.
I'll tell you what, being on board with Andrew Sanford, he was really struggling around these corners. Just you can tell how loose and uncomfortable he is. Hunter Johnson was able to get ahead of him. He's now up into P6, 14 spots from where he started. But Andrew Sanford, it looks like he is just trying to do everything he can to hold on to that machine right now.
And the problem is, it's just going to keep, like, he's got to, you want him to go quick here. He obviously wants to move forward. The problem is, if he's already got a loose race car, all that's doing is making that right rear hotter and hotter, and that's just going to make the situation worse. You can see him, like, even running a little higher in 3 and 4, trying to get any semblance of clean air, and unfortunately turn 4 really a one-group corner here at IMS, so he has to stay in the line behind the 88, but it's a situation that can get worse and worse, so he's got to find a way to, like, he's got to find a way to cool that right rear down, because if the right sides get too hot, it will wear the tires, and it will make that car extremely, extremely loose. As Hunter Johnson in front of him, twitching, going through that short chute between 1 and 2.
Yeah, you can see him fishtailing a little bit off a couple of corners here. So I know that he's used to driving things really, really loose. He races in real life too, so nothing out of the ordinary for him. But man, you can tell these guys, they absolutely have their hands full. Let's go on board with Tristan Helf. I want to see what our leader is doing, how he's feeling. Is he getting loose, what we saw with Andrew Sanford, or is he a little more under control? Now you got to remember, he is out front. He does not have that dirty air, so it's possibly a lot nicer to drive out here.
For sure, and I mean, Tristan having that clean air, that's just such a nice thing, because you're driving the Gen 7 at its peak performance when you're out front. Obviously, your tires are worn, so it's not perfectly peaked. You'd obviously want high, like new tires, low fuel, but it's peak performance for this level of the race, because he's just comfortably out front, managing the pace. He's looking in his mirrors. He can react if Evan Adams makes a run at him. I'm pretty sure Tristan could react and go a little bit harder. But right now, everybody's just trying to keep it clean. As again, that 37 really loose off of 2 that time.
Oh man, I missed that. I was watching a battle between Jordan McGraw and Matthew Gale. Matthew, it looked like he got into the wall a little bit. That allowed Jordan to make a pass over him. Matthew is going to be P11 with Jordan McGraw taken into the top 10. But a lot of these drivers just looking extremely loose out here. We'll see how it continues on, but I'm thinking these guys are going to one-stop it out here and just cut it halfway. Well, we'll see what they do, though.
Exactly, and from prior experience, you definitely overcutting doesn't really help you, just because you don't get up to the ground in these cars, unfortunately. These cars, especially with the new tire model, it seems like overcutting really used to be the ideal thing. You wanted to be on the newer tires as late as possible, which is why you see guys hyperextend the first stint in a one-stop race. Now you're not seeing that so much, just because it doesn't help you as much. As David Moransky was on pit road,
Man, Thomas Harmon struggling also. You can see he went into the grass almost up into the racing surface. I mean, that thing is pretty much unsteerable. And Thomas Harmon, if you guys know him, he's great at driving these cars, knows what he's doing. So if he's struggling, you know it is tough out there. He must have a lot of damage, and that car is not handling the way he needs it to.
Oh, no. I mean, I just went on board with him down the back straightaway, and to keep it going straight, he's got the wheel cocked about at the 1 or 2 o'clock position to the right, and that definitely is not a healthy offset for a Gen 7 race car, as he's on the access road between 3 and 4, just trying to stay out of everybody's way and make laps, although he might be coming to pit road this time. Yeah, he is going to bring that number 18 Toyota down pit road here. Maybe to get it repaired and try to go back out to make some laps because you could salvage some points, but tough day for that 18. Like I said, nothing he could do with that lap 1 accident. Austin Mitty coming back up after losing control. Just Thomas trying to take the corner nice and easy, and just nothing he could do, so really unfortunate for him.
Yeah, you said it right there. Just unfortunate circumstance, and Mitty, there's nothing that he could do. He tried to miss it and did so, but within doing that, it's just going to put your car in an awkward spot, and he just lost it and went back right up into Thomas Harmon. So it sucks. You know, Mitty's had such huge speed this season. Thomas Harmon, he's in a great spot in the points, so I know he's not going to be happy about tonight's race. Next week, we're headed to Iowa, so a whole different type of track. But I've heard that's quite the challenge also.
Definitely. Iowa's a tire killer. And which one are we going to? Are we going to the 2011 or the modern?
It should be the modern.
Okay, so we're going to the modern one. Both of them are tire killers, but the modern one has that additional challenge of the surface being kind of different, where you have a couple lanes, you know, newly repaved, and then a bunch of the rest of the track isn't. You have that transition off 2 and off 4 that can get these cars unsettled, which people kept saying that, and I wasn't, people kept saying that, and I really didn't have a problem with it, but I can understand how it can catch people out that transition in these cars. Any sort of transition in a Gen 7 could potentially destabilize this thing and send it sideways. So Iowa will be a tire killer, and it will be a challenge for these drivers to try to manage the tire wear and find a way to just keep up good speed while saving tire. The age-old thing of go fast but save.
For sure. Yeah, you can see these top 4 drivers, if they're in their own little pack, and then we're going to have Joseph Turley having a great run tonight. He's going to be P5. He's got Hunter Johnson, who has made up a lot of spots behind him. Francis Hamilton in 7th. Andrew Sanford, who looked extremely loose, but he's still holding on to it. He's going to be 8th. John Velocity going to be 9th, and Jordan McGraw in 10th. But, man, that's a 13-second change from Jordan McGraw to Tristan Helf. So quite a bit of a gap.
And it just shows, like, how critical, like, the qualifying position is. Because if you look at it, I don't believe there's a ton of change in our top number of cars. The only ones that really got changed were guys that were able to make up positions based off of, aside from Hunter Johnson, who's made up 14 positions, a very well done job for him, especially at this track where it's not easy to pass. But a lot of positions don't really get exchanged here at IMS, and it's like the top 4, all of them have, if they've moved any, they've moved up 1 or 2 position, or one, like 2 or 3 positions at most. Jimmy Cocker up from P6. But ever since they got into this 4 or 5 car train, Eliza, you haven't seen guys make passes. This isn't like Chicago. This isn't, you know, a mile and a half. It's not even like Michigan, where you might be able to take advantage. Guys, like, you almost have to rely on somebody making a mistake for you to be able to jump on them and go for a pass.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at Thomas Harmon still on pit lane trying to repair that. David Moransky, it looks like he is out of the race. Austin Mitty also, along with Brennan Book. So just so unfortunate to see how that has happened here, but we'll see what they can do. Jose Ruiz down 3 laps. Man, oh man, tough race, tough at the start. I mean, 1 car up front gets loose, and sometimes that stuff happens. But Tristan
Yep.
just looking so incredibly consistent. He's one of those drivers that he's got a lot of speed, but not only that, he takes care of his tires very, very well. He does a great job, and it looks like we're going to have Joe Turley make his way onto pit lane for his stop, lap 28 of 64. Here he comes down.
Interesting play. I mean, if these drivers can make it like 37, 38 laps on a tank, he will be good to go. So we'll have to see how well the new tires work. And it is the thing where if you're gonna take 4, or like tires may or may not matter here. We don't know with this Gen 7 because it seems to change given on how the car gets updated week to week. But looks like Joe right side's in the air, and he is gonna get a 4-tire stop. So 4 tires and fuel for the number 30. He'll be down and away and back out onto the track, and that's the really good thing about Indy. If you're running close enough to the front, you can pit and not go a lap down. Like anybody from the leader, I'd say probably Joe Turley was running about P5, so really anybody from the leader about probably back to that 5, 6, 7 train back there will be able to stop without losing a lap if everybody else stays on the racetrack. So you don't necessarily have to worry about that. And then if you can stay on the lead lap, you can cycle to the front. We saw Corey Heim pull it off during that final run of the Brickyard 400 this year, where he was able to stay in on the lead lap and just be able to cycle back. So Joe Turley could be in the catbird seat if things play out right. We'll just have to see how his speed is compared to the leaders.
Philip Bridgman on his way in also. He is currently sitting 18th as he makes his way on in. I think we're going to have a few more followers, and I'm kind of curious when Tristan, our leader, will be down pit lane, at least halfway, if not taking it as long as he can, just to make sure that he's got enough drive in those tires.
100%. And I think probably like halfway is the target point. You guys are going to go early based on how their car is handling and if they feel like they can make it to the halfway point. And you will want to take it a little bit, but I can't imagine. I think what Tristan right now, he's got enough of a gap, I think, back to Jimmy Cocker. I think the gap's 2 seconds.
Yeah.
That's about enough time where if like, hypothetically Tristan stays out and Jimmy pits this lap, that Tristan would be able to run another lap, react, get in, and then get back out in front of the 11. It might be close, but I think a 1-lap cut, Tristan might be able to get back out in front with having that 2-second advantage. So that's he's got enough of a gap to protect from a 1 or maybe even 2-lap overcut, but it's just going to depend how the other guys get on pit road, how he gets on pit road, how his stop is compared to those guys. And we have a caution on the speedway.
Ooh, it looked like Dylan Robb might be involved in it. Let's see if we can have a look. Yeah, it looks like he's coming off the exit there. Tries to save it, going through the grass, back up out on track. No one involved, but it's going to be enough where caution comes out. Second caution of the night.
Yep, and Philip Bridgman gets away from it. Philip gets lucky. He'll get the lucky dog, be able to cycle back around. And what did I tell you about Joe Turley, Eliza? Stayed on the lead lap. We get a caution flag. He will cycle back up to the front, provided he doesn't need to pit. I can't imagine why he would. But he'll be able to come around, and with everybody else pitting, he'll be able to cycle out to the race lead.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Now, is there a reason why it would be beneficial to just go ahead and pit?
Well, it depends. If he's worried about fuel, there is I could imagine him coming back down and putting like a splash of topping the tank off, just to be sure. But you got to remember, Indy's such a huge track. The pace car just caught them about 2/3 of the way down the back straightaway. Joe's still coming around turn 4.
Right.
Like, he has to come all the way back around to catch the pack. So it would depend if he gets back up there in time, which I think he probably will. But it depends how he feels on fuel. If he feels confident that he's good on fuel, or that he can save a little bit here and be good, or that we're going to get more cautions and he can save and be good, then he probably doesn't need to. Because he just came out of the pits, right? Like 2 to 3 laps probably not going to be a big deal, especially with the new tire model where it really matters just the temperature of the tire, where you can cool it down under caution. So he could come in and top off, but in that, I would only say if he's worried about needing the fuel to make it to the end. If not, play the clean air game. Get out front and see what you got if you can stay out front of the 38, because we saw Evan Adams stayed right with the 38, Eliza, but he had nothing for him, and sure enough, he is gonna stay out.
I think it's a great move. I mean, you got to take advantage of it. And sure enough, Joseph Turley's going to be able to do that. So that played out in his favor. We'll see how he does out in front here. But, man, he's going to have that clean air. It's going to be a nice change for him. And bring it back up here. You see Thomas Harmon right behind him. And it looks like he's still got to have a little bit of damage, though, for Harmon. Hopefully it's running a little bit better than it was. I'm going to go on board and see where that steering wheel is pointed now, and it looks like it might be just fine. So hopefully he's good to go, but I don't know. Do you think that arrow is being affected?
I think Thomas definitely still has. I mean, that number 18 Camry still got quite a bit of damage on the right side, and
yeah,
the wheel's not quite straight. It's definitely straighter than it was. It's only offset probably by about a couple degrees, which is just more normal. So maybe he might be okay, but the problem is now the arrow's still not repaired on it all the way around, because the iRacing stuff prioritizes fixing the mechanical damage, which I agree with. I don't want to have you fix the arrow, but then my steering's still 90 degrees off center if an accident happens.
Right.
But the arrow's still gonna hurt him, but if he can drive it, just keep it out there, and as long as he feels like he can maintain, he can be okay, not even maintain pace, but just maintain control of the car, then he can keep going. I also think he might have stayed out because he is a lap car. I'm not sure if he was gonna come back down and get some more repair. Looks like no, so he'll drop to the tail of the field. I think he thought he was gonna get a lap back there, and unfortunately the iRacing stewards put Joe Turley in front of him, so we'll just have to see how things go here. As in your chat, Gail letting us know he had 6 minutes of steering damage, so that kind of stinks for him.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Now we can definitely say both have been cursed.
I know. I feel like I just need to not wish anyone luck at this point from the booth, because something always happens to him. And it was right when I saw him hit the wall. He says, that's what led to J-Mac passing me. He had pretty bad wheel damage from that. Just so unfortunate. Yep. And we see a couple of drivers out here, and some of them were from the very beginning, lap 1 incident. It's just, it's unfortunate here, but we do have a new leader, Joseph Turley. He's going to be leading us back to green. Meanwhile, we got Brody Folliker beside him, Jimmy Cocker in 3rd, Evan Adams in P4.
And talk about the pit stops. Some people may have played some strategy, because Tristan Helf, all the way back, he entered in 1st. He was going to come out at best P2. He's all the way back in 9th. So we're going to have to see if that 38 can fight its way back through, or if, like we suspect, being up front is going to be the absolute thing that you want here. That stinks for him. I don't know what happened on his pit stop, but being P9 on a restart, it is so hard to pass here. I can't imagine he's going to get 6 or 7 positions on the first 2 laps before guys start to settle in. So we'll have to see if that 38's got the long run speed to fight his way back to the front, as we'll be coming to, I believe, 30 to go when we go green.
Yeah, that's definitely brutal. I mean, he led 32 or so laps, so he's got to be a little frustrated with that and how that played out, but we got to keep our eye on Joe Turley, Brody Folliker, and the drivers that are up here now. That Hunter Johnson, he is sitting in 5th. He's going to be especially aggressive, trying to make moves along with several other drivers. So, I don't know. Some chaos could be brewing here.
For sure, and we saw, this is where we get the aggression. This is the only place you can make passes. Back to green. Good jump for the 30. He does what Tristan did on that first restart. To cover the outside lane with Falliker, who tried to side draft Jimmy pretty aggressively. Hunter nearly into the side of the car alongside him as Tristan Helf looking 3 wide into turn 2.
Wow, very, very close, but he decides to hang out behind. He's right beside John Velocity. Meanwhile, these guys go 3 wide with Andrew Sanford down below. Let's see how this is going to play out as we head into the next quarter. Not what you want to see. Tristan is going to back out of that and let these two go.
Yeah, and I thought for sure he might try the crossovers. The 37 got loose, stays up on track, holds it together. But Tristan, that's the problem. You get aggressive like that. Tristan saw his opportunity to go 3 wide, but if you don't make that pass stick, you're a sitting duck for the cars that have momentum on the straightaway. And Sanford just got a huge run and put him 3. Not a surprise, but he was able to survive it. Unfortunately, didn't gain that much. He only gained 1 spot on that start, and I know he wanted more because he knows that 38 can lead. But meanwhile, in front, Joe Turley starting to gap Jimmy Cocker a little bit and running a bit out of line down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Hunter Johnson, he is chasing the rabbit right now. He's got a lot of aggressive driving. You can see him weaving in out of cars, trying to make up some spots. He's already gained 17 spots from where he started. Meanwhile, that puts him in P3. He's got Jimmy Cocker in front of him, Evan Adams behind him. We'll see what they can do, but Joseph Turley trying to lead yet another lap.
And he will do that. Jimmy Cocker trying to run him down in that chromed number 11 Camry, but right now times were about even. Joe Turley actually gained about 0.08. He gained about 0.08 of a second on that number 11 machine of Cocker. Fastest car on the track is the leader. Surprise, surprise. Clean Air being the kingmaker right now.
Yeah, how about that? Joseph Turley looking very, very confident out there. I mean, he's loving that clean air. Meanwhile, Jimmy Cocker, Johnson, and Adams, all these guys behind him, they're just having a tough go with this dirty air and just trying to make up some spots. Jimmy Cocker, you saw a little bobble coming off that exit there, just trying to hold on, but you can see the separation of these drivers. It is pretty well consistent with that gap in between each one of them. That's just what it does, that dirty air and that bubble. These drivers just have to fight through that this entire race.
Indeed, and it's why we only see people really make passes when somebody slips up or early in the run. You can see Tristan Helf. He has actually picked up 1 more spot. He got around the 87 of John Velocity, trying to close down the 48 of Francis Hamilton as Brody Folliker actually got the wall off turn 2. But Tristan trying to find a way, a pole sitter, our fastest car of the race for the first half of it, trying to find a way to get back up to the front.
Yeah, he's got to be driving a little bit frustrating right now.
Yeah.
I know he's not a huge fan of these cars, so I'm sure that's adding to the frustration. He just thinks the handling of them is not what he hopes to get from these cars, and I know a lot of drivers feel that way. Indy is just one of those tracks where dirty air is huge, and you have to qualify exactly where you want to finish because it's going to be hard to make anything up, but it's easy to drop back. I mean, 1 hit to the wall, your car could have steering damage or any other amount of issues. So it's just something that is going against these drivers on this track.
Yeah, and it's also, I mentioned pit stops. Like, I don't know what the difference is. I don't know if some of these guys took 2 tires on the stop or Tristan took 4, or if he slid through his box or what, but whatever it was, he had the Ryan Blaney experience on pit road. He lost 7 spots from where he should have come out. He should have been P2, but he ended up P9. And right now he's only been able to pick 2 spots back up as he's trying to find any amount of clean air in behind Francis Hamilton to get closer and maybe try to pass him.
Yeah, it looks like most of these drivers did take 4 tires. However, it doesn't account for if, like you said, if he misses pit box or had an issue, got loose coming in for some reason. So something must have happened, but it looks like most of our drivers did take 4.
Yeah, so, I mean, a pit road mistake maybe for the 38, dropping him back. And with these faster pit stops, all it takes now is, you could probably only overshoot by, a few inches. And that might be the difference between you being P2 on exit and where he was at P9. So, these pit stops recently for the Gen 7 cars have gotten to be a lot quicker. iRacing updated it to be more realistic. and which means there's less room for error if you get into your pit box a little too hot. You can fall back very, very quickly against other guys.
Joseph Turley still in the lead here. You can see the snake going down the front stretch, not as much as it was before, but he's got just under half a second gap over Jimmy Cocker. And then Hunter Johnson still hanging out in third. Evan Adams in fourth, having a great run. That's exactly where he started the race. And there's where he stays. And we're going to have Brody Folliker still in fifth, exactly where he started the race at. Francis Hamilton, he's down 3 spots. He did win last week at Echo Park. So his first win of this season, great for him to see. And hopefully we'll see another one from him this season. Tristan Helf with 3 wins this season. He currently sits P7. John Velocity, been very, very consistent. We don't talk about him a lot, but when we do, we just talk about his consistency. And some of these tracks he's had a lot of speed at. He started 21st. He's currently 8th, so up 13 spots. A great run for him. Andrew Sanford 9th, and Craig Meyer 10th.
And Craig having a great run. He's somebody who we've seen have flashes of really good speed, but he's had bad luck or just bad luck take him out of contention for some of these. So have him running in the top 10. This is a great day for him in that 25 car. Behind him, Matt Burgess runs 11th. Brian Pisakemi he got collected in that lap 1 incident, got it repaired. He's running in the 12th position. Same with Luke Allen in 13th. Jordan McGraw running in the 14th spot with Dakota Wilkins behind them in 15th. 16th place, Dylan Raub, the reason for our last caution. Luckily didn't hit anything, was able to come down and put 4 fresh tires on that machine. Philip Bridgman 17th. Michael Adams running in the 18th position. Matthew Gale is 19th, unfortunately still with probably minutes of steering damage from his contact with the wall during the last green flag run. And then Jose Ruiz rounds out the top 20.
Yeah, Thomas Harmon, he is down several laps, sitting 21st. Not, how he normally runs. We know he's extremely fast, second in points, having a fantastic season. But, he's got to be a little frustrated with how tonight played out. David Moransky, one of our driver spotlights, he is out along with Austin Mitty and Brendan Book. But back to the front with Joe Turley. He's still staying consistently the gap-wise in front of Jimmy Cocker. So these guys very, very close, but yet they just have that gap in between them that is just so incredibly difficult to break. And you can see that snake coming off the corner. It's just so fun to watch. But as a driver, you just want to be able to break that. You want to be able to make up a spot, and it's just so difficult. So it's something that they have to work on strategy-wise, see how and when they can get that spot.
And I can say from personal experience as well, even having like a teammate, if Jimmy's got, Hunter's not one of Jimmy's teammates, but if he had a teammate behind him, that doesn't even necessarily help you, because these cars, you can't break the draft and give somebody a push like you could at Daytona or Talladega or Echo Park. The aero package here just doesn't allow it, as we see Tristan Helf making the move on Brody Folliker for P5. So that 38 machine does have really good speed and trying to come back to the front. He's able to get him off of turn 4. But back to what I was saying, they really just don't have the this aero package means you can't draw up, which means you also can't get help, although Joe Turley a little bit slower on that last lap. Jimmy Cocker peaking the nose high as they head for 2.
Side by side, yeah, the outside. Will Jimmy be able to get a run on that outside run? We'll see. Ooh, a little bit of a tap between him and Hunter. We're now 3 wide for the lead. Hunter taking full advantage of what was going on right there, and we'll see who is going to make that turn first. It looks like Hunter on the inside, Jimmy Cocker on the outside, and Joe Turley, he's going to be third, and Hunter getting loose.
Hunter was drifting it, and I was going to say, it being in that position before, if Hunter could have stayed there with Jimmy, that would have, as he smashes the wall off of the corner and Joe Turley jumps to his inside. But and here comes Dylan Robb, he knows he's got to go. But, not Dylan Robb, excuse me, Tristan Helf, my apologies. But anyway, you have if if the 88 could have stayed on the inside of the 11 there, you can carry so much momentum as the car behind just taking the line as the 88's going around out of 2 and the caution is in the air.
All right, you tell me about your car, bud.
Had to ruin my
Round goes
point
the
by
88.
spinning. Selfish.
Let's see if we can get a replay of what exactly happened out here. Ooh, a little bit of a tap from the car behind him. It looks like Evan Adams possibly giving a little tap around that corner. Just so tough to save that. Let's see if we can go on board Evan Adams and see if there was actually some contact made. But man, tough out there.
Yeah, initially I just thought from the wide angle camera that I use, I thought that the 29 might have like just arrow griefed him, but no, middle of the corner. It does look to me like he did get Hunter a little bit in that left rear as they were coming into turn 2, and I mean, there's 2 ways to move somebody: arrow grief them in these Gen 7s, and you can do that, and you can also just bump them. I don't think Evan meant to do that though. I think he just didn't expect the 88 to try to close that door all the way there and misjudge the closing rate. It's very easy to do in these Gen 7s to make that error, but unfortunately for Hunter, he was having a really good run at the lead there.
Yeah, you can see him making his way around. We'll see if he has any repairs to do and how much that is going to be, but probably a little bit frustrated, and it looked like Evan was pretty aggressive going through that corner. Didn't look like he let off, if at all, going through that corner as he was on his bumper. So interesting play by Evan there. Maybe he did. It's something that we'd have to look back, but we'll see what kind of repairs Hunter has.
It didn't look like Hunter probably has anything. Like, that looked like he just got a bump, got turned, and locked it down. I don't think Hunter hit anything, or if he did,
I don't think so either.
If he did, he would have just barely kissed the wall. Now you got to see drivers making strategy calls, trying to figure it out as, ooh, Jimmy Cocker, Joe Turley, Tristan Helf staying out, Evan Adams coming down. So, and a couple other guys deeper in the field taking the opportunity to jump to the front. So we're going to see now, Eliza, how much new tires matter against old tires.
You can see Dylan's pit window there. You can see a sign. Just cracks me up, some of these guys and what they do. But yeah, Jimmy Cocker stays out here. Joseph Turley in second, Tristan Helf in third, and Jordan McGraw in fourth. Now I'm kind of curious, how is this going to play out? I mean, tires are a huge thing here. And Hunter says in chat, I have no damage, 0 damage. So great news for him, but I think he's going to be on a massive run to try to get back up there.
I mean, he did it once. He's going to have a lot less time to do it. We're going to go green probably with about 14, 15 laps to go. So he's really going to have to fly to try to get up there. I mean, he did it, like I said, he did it before. We'll see if he can't make it back up there a little bit quicker than his previous time.
Currently sitting P13. You can see he's coming back out on track ahead of Brian Pizzakimi, behind Dakota Wilkins. It's just that's a huge hill to climb though, P13. So we'll see how that plays out. But man, what he says, what am I known for? Shouldn't you be driving, sir? How you doing all that? Oh my gosh. Third caution of the night here at Indianapolis. Who's going to kiss the bricks? We've had plenty of drivers win this season. A lot of different drivers. Jimmy Cocker winning 3 races. Harmon winning 2 races. Steven Maggio has won 3 races. He's not here tonight. And then several drivers who got the first win of the season. So I'm kind of curious, are we going to see a new winner or a repeat?
And you can't forget about Tristan Helf, who also has 3 wins this season, Eliza. He may absolutely despise the handling characteristics of this car, and I'm putting it as nicely as I can with saying that without getting this channel demonetized. But he's got the pace. He made it all the way back up. The problem is our leader, Jimmy Cocker, chose the outside, so Tristan will not have the jump. It'll be Jordan McGraw on the bumper of the number 11. Something else we may have to see here, guys on older tires versus new. We've seen the starts be okay. It doesn't seem like anybody's been even twitching out of shape, but all it takes is one here at Indy. We've seen real life and in iRacing, accidents on restarts here at this track. So be ready for anything.
Let's take a look here. 16 lap old tires for Jimmy Cocker and a lot of the drivers in here. Joe Turley, he's on 21 lap old tires. It's a big difference there for the top 4 drivers. And Francis Hamilton, Adams, Sanford, Velocity, they have all just gone in. So that's something that they're going to have to take advantage of if they can.
For sure. This is where it's gonna be just how aggressive can these guys on new tires be. You know, Tristan Helf, of course, is going to get aggressive. He knows he's got the car to go. If he can get to Jimmy Cocker, if he gets around the 30, he can get there. The question is, can he get around Jimmy? Because Jimmy's been very, very good. One of the best all-arounders here in Shake and Bake. So we could see a fight for the win between those two, but don't count out anybody on the new tires. Evan Adams has had great speed. Our last week winner, Francis Hamilton's had really good speed here. Velocity has shown flashes. There's still room for chaos, but we'll see what happens on this restart.
We'll definitely see, and it looks like Jimmy Cocker going to take that outside. Joe Turley on the inside. It will be on Jimmy's go. So whenever he decides in the box is when this race will proceed back to green after a third caution. But again, this is one of those things, you know, these cautions, especially late, they breed chaos, so we'll see what happens here. But they are off and running 2 wide all the way through. Jimmy with a nice little gap over here. A couple of drivers taking it low already, not playing around, taking it 3 wide. That's going to be 7 of Luke Allen as he pushes up that middle car.
Yep, he got into Matt Burgess, pushed him up the track. It allowed Craig Meyer to get away, luckily, as John Velocity hits the wall. Now cars fanning out all around. Here comes Evan Adams trying to go 3 wide, and Tristan Helf blocks, and he'll take that run down into turn 3. Couldn't quite get to the 30 of Joe Turley, and you know Jimmy Cocker saying thank you very much. His car's all the way out of shape. Tristan Helf loose, and Adams trying to force his way through.
Yeah, that might have saved him a little bit with that contact between Adams and Tristan Helf. Tristan just all over that wheel trying to keep it steady, and a little bit of contact between the two might have held him steady there. But Jimmy Cocker, meanwhile, while this is all going on, take a look at the gap he's got. Almost a full second in front of Joe Turley, as Joe is just going to have to hold off a huge snake behind him. A very hungry one, I might add. That's going to include Evan Adams, Tristan Helf, Francis Hamilton, and Jordan McGraw, and that's just to name a few. And look at these guys fanning out, trying to gain what they can. That's going to be around P8.
Yeah, and right now, all Jimmy Cocker is doing is going, thank you very much, Joe, because that Joe Turley trying to defend his position on that opening lap gave Jimmy just the freedom just to put down a qualifying lap effectively. Just go drive hard off that restart, get away, and now he's still about a second out in front, and all he has to do is maintain a gap of about 9/10 to about 9/10 or more. The cars behind will not have tow down the straightaway. Joe Turley's pretty much now just going to have to defend from the cars behind on newer tires. It's not impossible. He's doing a solid job so far, although he slips up out of 2. This might give Evan Adams the chance down the back straightaway. Here he comes.
Yeah, he's going to get in underneath Joseph Turley. We're going to see who's going to beat the other out of the corner here. And Evan, he's got a nice little run into the corner, but you know that high side is not going to be enough, though. He is not just clear yet as they go into turn 4 and off the exit here. Looks like Evan Adams going to take it.
Yep, and new tires, and the fact that really the outside line is not as advantageous here at Indy as it is at other ones. And see cars further back blocking as they come down the front straightaway. You really want to be the car on the inside. That seems to be the best line here at Indianapolis, is just the standard racing line. And unfortunately, when you have everybody fighting over it, you're going to have that dirty air, and you're seeing it right now. And the problem of the 30 maybe burned up his stuff a little bit more, trying to hold the lead. Here comes Tristan Helf now looking for that 3rd place.
We got Big Jimmy in chat saying, I'm back. What are we doing? It's funny that your name is Big Jimmy because we got Big Jim AKA Jimmy Cocker in the lead as soon as you came back. So he's got a fantastic run going on here. Evan Adams made his way up to second, Joe Turley third, and he's got Tristan Helf trying to take a move onto the inside. Will he be able to do it? He doesn't have any help. Meanwhile, Joe Turley, he's got that draft, and Francis Hamilton just taking it wherever he can.
Yeah, Francis definitely thought about it because that 38 got slowed up out of 4. The 48 took a look, and that 38's looking every corner now, just trying to find something. Got right up to the rear bumper of that 30, got the dirty air, and a little bit of blocking, and that's going to help Francis. That's going to help Joe Turley as well get a little bit further away, dropping to give the 48 draft. Definitely strategy you can do here in any of these cars with these long straightaways. If you see somebody you know that can help, just pull down, give them a little bit of aid to get by the guy on your outside. And I know Tristan's probably pounding the steering wheel. He's not happy with that, having to lose that spot.
Jimmy Cocker going way down low to the inside wall, trying to keep Evan out of that draft, and he has gained several tenths. So Evan Adams really closing that gap as we speak. And Jimmy trying to do everything he can to keep him behind, but we do have 10 laps to go, so this race is quickly winding down here. We'll see what he can do. Will he be able to get his 4th win of the season? He'll be the only one so far with 4 wins, and he is our points leader.
Very possible. Evan Adams did gain about, I'd say, a half a tenth on that last lap, and with the gap at the line last time being about half a second, it is kind of closing a little bit. But that's the catch-22. You want to be close. You want to get him. You want to close in as much as you can. But the instant you get in dirty air, like, it gets that much more difficult to gain ground.
Take a look at, this is for P7. Jordan McGraw leading this part of the field. He's got John Velasquez behind him, and we got Andrew Sanford getting very loose, able to hold on to it. But man, he has really struggled tonight, and you can see him blinking in and out, and it's going to make drivers around him nervous as he makes a little hit to the wall here. But these guys just absolutely on top of each other.
And this is guys just going for it now. Like, none of these guys, like, and anything can happen right in these closing laps, especially if we get the dreaded yellow thing being displayed. I'm trying very hard to not say it so it doesn't happen. But but these drivers right here in this pack, they know they're not winning. Like, they're just trying to get anything they can right now. Like, they're not going to win from this far back with this few laps to go. It's just not going to happen at Indy. Jimmy, it's going to probably be one of the front 2. But right now, looking at the front 2, Jimmy was a little quicker on 2 laps ago, and this last lap was about half a tenth faster than that 29 machine. Like I said, you just close in a little bit, you catch that dirty air, and then it's so easy to lose ground in these cars. You gain, you chisel away at it, and then you just catch a bit of dirty air, miss the corner a little bit, the guy in front of you gains it all back in one corner. It makes these cars so frustrating to drive, but you have to drive so strategic and tactfully in these cars to gain ground. We'll see what the difference is at the line this time. It's about, I'd say, half a second.
Evan Adams, he's the one in the top 4 that has the newest tires out there, and then Hamilton and Johnson, Folliker, also 10-lap-old tires. So I'm kind of wondering if that is coming to play with how Adams is catching up to Jimmy Cocker here.
It definitely is a bit. He was half a tenth faster on that lap, but again, it's can he get there despite the dirty air? Yeah. Effectively, we've got Jimmy Cocker, definitely no Corey Heim, but not in terms of real life. In terms of this league, he's very much Corey Heim. Whenever that car shows up, it's Cocker time. I know it doesn't ring a roll off the tongue as well as Heim time, but anyway, Jimmy knows how to get it done, and him having that clean air, all he has to do is hold that inside line, because that is the preferred line at IMS. You want to be as low as you can to that curbing, maybe even like touching it just a bit to get the car to rotate if you need it. but Evan is just, he's in that problem where you want to gain. You need to gain at this point. You want to have any chance. Time's running out. Less than 6 laps to go. But he's every time he gets a little bit closer, the dirty air gets worse, the handling goes away, and Jimmy just doesn't have that issue out front.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the difference between first and second, and he does have fresher tires. Evans does, so it's just interesting to see the difference that it makes just even having clean air. And you can see he's about half a second behind Jimmy Cocker, and that line still going all over the place, and Evans just saying, hey, I'm not going down there. I don't think I need to. Try to keep the clean air, but it did cost him a little bit of time, not too terribly much, but he gains it back just in those corners as we are at 5 laps to go. You guys in chat, let me know, who do you think's going to win it? Is it going to be Jimmy Cocker for win number 4? Or is it going to be Evan Adams for his first one of the season? Or will it be someone completely different?
You never know. I mean, we already saw Evan get very aggressive with a move on Hunter Johnson earlier in the race. If he gets overly aggressive again, that 30 car of Joe Turley's in the catbird seat if something happens with those 2 leaders. But that's all contingent on that 29 getting to Jimmy Cocker in the first place.
Yeah, those 2 battling it out might help the drivers behind, but man, Joe's really busy. He's got some hungry drivers behind him. It's going to be Francis Hamilton, Hunter Johnson, who I'm pretty sure that these 2 drivers were switched just not too long ago. Tristan Helf is going to be a little bit back. You can see, that's going to be Tristan Helf. I thought it was going to be Thomas Harmon. But Brody Folliker in 7, Luke Allen 8th, Jordan McGraw 9th, and John Velocity, he's up 11 spots to P10, but Jimmy Cocker and our lead still holding him off, and it has stayed very, very consistent. But can he do it for another 4 laps?
And that is the thing, right? Indy is broken hearts. We've seen it happen in Gen 7s. We've seen it like Kyle Larson this year. The most famous one, of course, for an Indy heartbreak. Literally last lap, last turn was J.R. Hildebrand, when he tried to go around that lapper and smash the turn 4 wall. You have to be perfect.
Yeah.
You can't make a mistake. You get out of turn 3 and you think you're home free. You have to stay on it, because if you miss turn 4, you're in that wall. You're in the wall hard, and with these cars, you might snap something. And Evan's definitely close enough that all it's going to take is Jimmy to make that mistake.
Right.
If Jimmy pounds the wall out of a corner and gets loose, the 29's there. The 29 might not complete the pass if it's minor enough, but if he gets alongside and he can get the run, he might have him. But again, Jimmy's been inch perfect all day. It's going to be, I can't see Jimmy making the mistake.
Man, it is just so incredibly tight. Now we're under half a second out here. 2 laps to go. It is just coming down to the wire, and I got to tell you, Matt, MJ Seal said, Sisler, Gail is mad at that you missed the chance for a Jimmy O'Clocker. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Instead of Cocker time. Oh my God. Oh, Jimmy
An opportunity
O'Clocker.
missed.
That's better. Oh, he might get it here. Well, Evan gained a bit, and Evan gained a bunch out of 3. The problem is that dirty air is going to be a problem. Jimmy wants that white flag. You know he does, with those cars behind him, side by side, weaving down the front straightaway. White flag is flag in the air. It's definitely wide enough to do that, but up front, Jimmy trying to hold on for one more lap.
Oh my gosh, we have Tristan Helf, and looks like that is going to be Joe Turley. We're just leaning on each other, but Jimmy Cocker, final lap here, he does have the lead. I just don't think, if he doesn't do anything to mess up, I don't think
Francis!
Adams...
Oh, Francis is around!
Francis
no
around,
cautions.
Yeah, no caution. Final
we'll
lap here. Heartbreaker for him.
Now, Jimmy, if that was real life, he'd be screaming, "Caution! Put it out!"
Here we go around at
we got
turn
more
4.
problems in turn 3. Hunter Hunter and Joe Turley up. Tristan's going to get all the way up to P3, but at the front, Jimmy Cocker. It is Jimmy O'Clocker time at Indy. He wins at the Brickyard. There you go, MJ. I got it that time.
Jimmy Cocker gets to kiss the bricks for win number 4 this season. A huge congratulations. And Evan Adams, he's going to come home P2. Tristan Helf rounding out the podium here. Brody Folliker finishes 4th. Luke Allen, a very strong run for him. P5. Joseph Turley in 6th. Great run for him. 7th is going to be Jordan McGraw. 8th, John Velocity. 9th, Craig Meyer. Great run for him also. And Matt Burgess in 10th.
Great run for Craig. Usually he doesn't have that. Usually he's, like I said, he's just not had the luck. He's had flashes of speed. So a great job for that 25 to come home in 9th.
Man, what a run. You can see everyone congratulating Jimmy Cocker. A lot of FIWB teammates and drivers throughout the league. Andrew Sanford coming up, John Velocity, Jordan McGraw. These guys just saying, hey, great run out there. But yeah, 4th win. Everyone said, hey, if Jimmy Cocker does not get the regular season championship, we're going to give him a really hard time when we head to, I think they were going to say Charlotte maybe that they were heading to. But yeah, they always get together. So you definitely don't want to let them down with that.
No. And good thing here, no worry about if you run over the virtual bricks. No worries about doing a burnout over those as opposed to real life. Sorry, Carson Quapple.
That is so true. Nice burnouts by Jimmy Cocker, and we'll have to get Tristan Helf in the booth. He got 3rd out there. But man, oh man.
Gorgeous chrome car, too.
Isn't it, though? I love that scheme.
Yeah, it's his standard scheme, but they chromed it up, and it looks just a little bit better with that chrome in place of the standard white.
For sure.
Makes you wish Denny Hamlin had that. I don't think he ever had a chrome FedEx car.
I don't think he did, but hey, maybe they should. Let's ring him up.
give him a one-off. If Ally, Carvana, and Lowe's are thinking of giving Jimmy a car, come on, yeah. FedEx, one more for Denny.
There you go. Man, what a celebration for Jimmy. That's a hard race right there. It's just so hard to make up positions, but Jimmy, it's Eliza. You made up 5 positions to get win number 4 tonight. Kissing the bricks. How does it feel to get the win here?
Feels great. I literally, that could have been anybody's race. Tristan, I think, might have had the fastest car, but who knows, man? I mean, it just depends on who's out front at any given time. I really lucked out in Turley losing the back end, unfortunately, there in turn 1, and I was able to get around him. And that really was, what can you say, that was the race. I mean, this package and this racetrack are not the greatest combination, but I'm glad we came out on top.
Yeah, it's definitely a hard combination. You got that dirty air and trying to make up positions, just nearly impossible except for on the restarts. How did you figure out going through traffic? How did you make up any positions? What do you got to look for as a driver?
Wrecks. Literally, half of my positions, Eliza, were made up entering turn 1 on the first lap. If that's a indication of how sad this race car and this racetrack are together, that was a very big part of my race. Was some big names like Brendan getting swept up in that, and Austin Mitty, those guys all getting kind of swept up in that wreck. I was kind of one of the last still standing with no damage. I know that Evan, I looked at his right front going past him, and he did have a little bit of damage there. So, I mean, I really was an advantage, just super lucky.
How do you hold off Evan at the final? I know, were you nervous at all, or just confident that you could pull this off?
I feel like this is a recurring theme, that Evan is faster than me at the end of these races, but I'm able to dirty air him to death. Like, he's faster than me at Pocono. He's faster than me tonight. Even with the damage, that's the part that amazed me, is that even with that right front damage, he was still running me down, putting down those laps. I mean, just hats off to him. His win is coming, dude. It's coming soon.
I think so. You led 19 laps to bring it home. four-time winner this season. So a huge congratulations, a fantastic run. Chaos at the beginning, but you survived and you brought it home. So congratulations, Jimmy.
Thank you so much. Finally got FedEx in victory lane at Indianapolis. So there you go.
We need to bring that paint scheme up to Denny, though, and have a little bit of extra spice on there. It looks solid out there. I love that scheme.
Yeah, I'll hook him up with Kevin Dalator for sure.
There you go. There you go. All right, we're gonna have Matt. We got Evan in the booth for P2. A great run for him.
Absolutely. Evan Adams, Matt Sisler up in the booth. Great job for you. Great qualifying run to put you up in position with that P4. You were able to avoid the turn 1, turn 2 chaos. And talk us through that last run. You made a great job to get into the clean air and got within a couple tenths of Jimmy Cocker. Was there anything that you could have done to kind of get around that dirty air to maybe have a shot at the 11 in the closing stages?
I mean, maybe. I mean, I had 15 seconds of damage there, as Jim said. But, I don't know. Ever since that last restart, I just knew, like, my mentality had to be desperate, especially down the backstretch, pushing the 38. And I went from 5th or 6th. I had a really bad restart there, actually, and then obviously got to 2nd. But, yeah, I was pushing the heck out of the car. I didn't have much else. I mean, hats off to the 38 and the 11, really fast cars.
And this has got to give you some, like, really solid momentum going into the, like, closing stages of this regular season to run up here and be within a few tenths of the guy who's been, you know, one of the best all season in this league in Jimmy Cocker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's giving me a lot of confidence, especially since I was 10 points behind going into the the cutoff to 12th to get in the chase. And yeah, that for sure helps the confidence because we also have Daytona and anything could happen there in 2 or 3 weeks here.
Indeed. Next week, we go to Iowa. What are your thoughts on that?
Tire wear, it seems. Done a little bit of practice. Tire wear, it seems.
Gotcha. Well, I wish you best of luck with the tire wear at Iowa. Congratulations again on the P2 finish.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, Eliza, our third place finisher, pole sitter, Tristan Helf.
Tristan, you had a solid run, started pole. Take us through that caution, and we noticed that you fell back a little bit through a pit cycle there. So how did your race play out, and how did it go through that?
Well, if there's a definition in a dictionary for coulda, woulda, shoulda, I am definitely have my name next to it. I just slid right through the pit box, locked them up, just went right through, lost 6 spots, and just drove my ass off to try and make them up. And then stayed out for track position because so hard to pass, that dirty air is so bad. I know being on older tires, I was going to have to drive the shit out of it, and I did. Burnt the right rear up. Once I felt it lose grip, I just let Frank and Hunter go by, and got third because of Frank's misfortune there of getting loose and Hunter slowing down, and we were all stacking up, and I tried like hell to get by Turley, but you know, Newman don't like to be passed, so, but I did everything I could tonight. A little upset, a little pissed, a little everything. This car sucks. Track sucks. Yeah.
Do you think that slide in the box was the difference between third and first?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. Slide in the box was the biggest deal. I needed to hit my marks on pit road, and I didn't. I just frustrated, disappointed in myself, ready to
P3
go bash
is...
my head up against the wall.
I don't think we need to do all that, but P3 is very, very solid, and you're sitting nice in points. How do you feel about Iowa?
A lot better. I love Iowa. It's probably one of my favorite tracks, just a larger Richmond, which I love Richmond. So I'm finally happy to go to a track where I'm like, yes, I like this one.
Think we're going to see a win?
I don't know about that, but I definitely will be much happier at Iowa for sure.
All right, good to hear. But a solid finish here at Indianapolis. Great job. And Matt, man, we called it with the dirty air and, you know, the difficulty of trying to make passes here. These drivers had a lot going on, and you saw a few of them slideways, but overall, a great night. All right, so it was a great night racing. Next week, we're headed to Iowa. Jimmy gets his 4th win. Great night so far. Evan, he gets a P2. And Evan, I gotta ask, is that your best finish so far?
That would
season?
be my second to Pocono.
Okay,
with
that's what I was
Jim
wondering.
winning.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's very solid. So, Iowa's next week. We'll see how it goes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It was a fun night. We'll see you next week at 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time. You guys take it
care.
easy.
Take care, everyone.